We're turning this declassified Navy barge into the coolest floating home that you've ever seen. In the last video, you saw us make our first major upgrades by adding windows and doors to the sidewalls. Now it's time to make a major transformation to the front of this building. And that means removing this entire wall, framing in a huge glass roll-up door, and adding all new metal siding. I think this is gonna be the biggest transformation of this entire build. So let's get to work. I haven't ever been up on this roof before, so this seems like a good opportunity to look around a little bit. The hope is that we can reuse this. I'm gonna try not to destroy it while I remove it. Famous last words. Oh my gosh, this is the part I'm always terrified of. Coming from the roof to the ladder. Still afraid of ladders, or falling, or still afraid of the roof. Should I save all these screws? Probably. There was a little bit of glue. I'm trying to figure out how this is all attached. We were trying to figure out how to save this wall. Our original plan was that we were going to strategically put doors and windows where all the old cutouts were. And the more we tried to do that, it was not gonna work. Like, if you're wondering what happened right here, I stole a piece out of here to make a patch for the other wall. No, yeah, I've got a spider on a leash. I'm walking my spider. I'm gonna gently let him down onto the barge and then stop him. Okay, I think this side should be free. There we go. Oh, dude, that's a fat one. Do you think they're all pregnant right now, like in the springtime? Your wife? Like in Charlotte, yeah, my wife. That's a big spider.
Close your mouth.
And then we'll stack these over here. So now we just keep taking screws off and taking walls apart. The screw broke off and I cannot get it out of the bit. Yeah, that was less drama than expected. How's it going? Honestly, faster than I thought it would go. There we go. All right. I'm putting my insulation sweatshirt on. I call it that because it's the one that's already covered in insulation. And it has a hole burned in it. It's time to remove all the insulation off the side of the building. And I think we should save it. We probably can't reuse it on this wall, but we could like double up some of the insulation in other areas. Oh, they staple them together? Crazy. It is the vapor barrier. Or it was the vapor barrier. I can't see a single downside to doing this, and it saves a trip to the dump, and it reuses material that would otherwise be wasted. So it's not a perfect insulation job, but it's a lot better than, I don't know. More insulation has to be better than less, right? Really opened it up, huh? This is a bigger piece, huh? Hey, there's a bird in here. It's a swallow. Scram, over there. Go that way. There it goes. Well, that's the fourth time today.
Really?
Yeah. You've been saying indoor, outdoor. It doesn't get much more indoor, outdoor than this.
Last week we made the barge look a lot nicer, and I think this week we made the barge look a lot worse. It looks like it got hit by a tornado.
And that's why they call it my insulation sweatshirt. I'm gonna get all this off of me. Then I think we'll keep on bolting. This is gonna go fast. Every single thing is different. Square drives, flatheads. Who uses flatheads? Like, come on. Torques, Phillips, hexes. Yeah, there were some metrics, some standards. The trick is gonna be, can I even get this one out? So I had this aha moment when I was trying to figure out, why are some places on this barge so rusty and corroded and other places look almost brand new, especially considering that we're on fresh water? Places like this, look how corroded this is. On the step, why would this spot be corroded? And I realized that they usually use this barge in the winter time, and I bet they used a ton of ice melt on it, like the salt that you put out to melt ice in the wintertime. So it's because of the ice melt that it's all rusty, not because it's a barge on a lake. So that's why the barge itself is in such good shape, but anywhere people were walking is like rusted through in places. Generally, I've found on these types of projects that if you just take it apart, it's better than being like, I'm just gonna rip it apart. What holds the door frame in? Oh, it's screwed in from the inside. We would have never gotten that out of there without taking the wall apart. Hey, General Dynamics, information technology. I have college friends that work for General Dynamics. We're ruining the spider's day. It went to the last one.
You good?
Okay, I found some more lumber that was framing in the back door. The barge will provide. We're about to work smarter, not harder, which is kind of an odd thing for me to say. So now, we take one of the doors. Oh gosh, I thought that was going in the water for a second. Sweet. Let's see it. And roll it down to the dock. I mean,
Wow.
Upgrade. Are things in our life getting heavier, or am I getting weaker?
Do you want me to answer that?
Not honestly.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Our new wall is going to be a different thickness than this. It's going to be a 2x4 stud wall. So like leaving any of these, they would just be in our way for finishing the interior. Okay, confirm the ceiling is insulated. Cordy, I didn't even take the bolts out of the bottom that were holding this. They're just gone from the rust. And just like that, that's how you take apart a metal building. So something we are gonna have to figure out is that the original floor was at this level. So when you stepped in, this was the height you were at. But because we took the raised floor out, we dropped our floor down 8 inches. We're gonna need to cut all of this threshold out and lower it down. So yeah, I think that's next. I think next thing is to cut this monstrosity off somehow, which I've been dreading. It's sort of my nemesis. Like, it's definitely welded to the barge, right? Yeah. Hey, it's easier to get the cord in and out of the building now. There's been a new layer welded over the top of the original rusted one. So when the ice melt rusted it, they welded a new thing on top. I don't think I can get much more out of that one. Yeah, this project is probably the most intimidating and most fun thing I've ever done. It's fun because like, there aren't any rules and we can be creative and we can kind of do whatever we want. It's intimidating because there aren't any rules and we have to be creative and problem solve. I don't know what the right tool for this would be, a cutting torch, but I don't know. this is not very well attached, and if I can take the deck off, then I can get to it a lot easier. It'll also mean it's less heavy. That's true too. So then, theoretically now, we can just take the floor off. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's loose. This is heavier than it looks. Okay, I'll leave it right here. Look at all that. This is nuts. When I pulled into the parking lot this morning and I looked down at our project, I went, oh my goodness, what did we do? It's like we went from having a closed-in building that was ready for interior to just completely demolishing the entire front of it. I found this big glass roll-up door used on Marketplace. It used to belong to a golf course, and I guess they kept breaking the glass out of it, big surprise, so they replaced it with a non-glass one. And so the plan is that we're gonna put the big glass roll-up door right here, and that's gonna open up into the living room. And then we're gonna have this door here, which is like a full glass front door. And then there's gonna be a awning window that opens up from the kitchen, so like one of those ones that opens up and out to make an entire indoor-outdoor kitchen bar across this side right here. I think it's gonna be super cool. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot for me to figure out on the layout. But I'm hoping that by the end of the day today, we're out of the destruction phase and on to the rebuilding phase as we start framing out this front wall here. But step one is right where we left off yesterday afternoon, which is I need to get this landing out, this like stair landing out of here. Oh, it's moving. Whew. This is nuts. It's crazy that there can be this much corrosion in one spot and then no corrosion in other places.
Ahoy! You're committed now.
There's no going back. Shout out to Steven. Steven's back again today. He's gonna help me knock out some of the heavy lifting, and we're gonna try to finish installing the rest of the subfloor that Courtney and I started last week. And thanks, Steven, for lending me a hand today. So when Courtney and I put all these sheets in, we only had one box of screws, so every sheet only has like 3 or 4 screws holding it down. Steven's gonna go back through and we're putting 25 screws per sheet. And while he does that, I'm gonna finish getting this monstrosity out of here. Wow, that was a mess. Friends don't let friends use ice melt on steel structures. Like, that got all the way down into here. Luckily, there's still a lot of solid metal all through the middle right here. But I think the next step is to start planning where all the door openings go so we can cut out the threshold. Kind of cool that where I'm cutting out for our door opening is also the most rusted out, rotten part of the entire frame. So the secondhand door that we bought that I thought was gonna fit no problem, I just did a whole bunch of measuring. And basically if we line it up so that the right edge is right up against this post, then the left side clears height-wise by 1/4 of an inch. I feel like all we do is just keep cutting more.
That's my favorite move.
There's nothing supporting the subfloor out here on the very end. See that? So there's a joist that's right here, but this is just sort of floppy. So I figured out that a 2x6 just happens to fit perfectly inside these I-beams. So if we go 2x6 between each one all the way across, that's gonna stiffen it up. So like right here, you can see now, it's stiff.
Oh, yeah.
So the dilemma is that the barge isn't level in any direction and it moves around. So how do we make sure that our wall is square to the barge? Yeah, so I'm marking the top and bottom plate right now to get our stud spacing laid out, because if we mark these on the ground and then we can measure for what height we know the studs are supposed to be, we know this is a 2 and 12 roof pitch, theoretically, everything will line up plumb and square. And this is the screw to set my tape off of. So this is the top plate, but because our roof runs at a diagonal, this top plate runs at a diagonal, so the stud spacing is greater than 24 in center. So this is gonna be 24 and 5/16. And then what's 24? That's gonna be, there we go.
72 and 15, 16.
What do you have going on over there? You have a science going on. Is this an iPhone thing? Yeah, now we just screw these down. Self-tappers to attach them to the metal frame. See that little doodacker? The little tab hanging out right in front of you. That, yep, to the outside of that. 14 foot 1.5. We've almost covered it up. And no one's got in yet.
Riley, stop.
This is the first stud. It goes here. So if we screw that in on the bottom, and then set this on top of it. So now I'm on my layout marks, and now if I get this stud parallel to this column,
You're using a Home Depot stud.
as my stabila level, because Tyler's not here. So now if I stand back, and I close one eye, I stick out my tongue, dude, that's perfect. So assuming that the building was built square, and the post is perpendicular to the barge deck, then our first stud is perpendicular to the barge deck, which means our sheathing layout should line up correctly. And now we can build the rest of our layout based on this stud, based on my eyeball. But I closed one eye and stuck my tongue out. Definitely a little short. I'm cutting a new one because the math didn't lie. Well, the math doesn't lie, it's just something's not quite right. I was very proud of this stud, and then Steven looked up and he said, wait, where does your window start? My window starts like right here. So that one's coming out. No, I'm just gonna skip this. I think I need to not have a camera for a second. I better screw the jack studs in first and then put that up. I'm wearing a tool belt, but I set my tools down. Oh, there they are. And with any luck, something doesn't seem right. 41. This piece is 40. What's that?
Of your drill bit drawer being cluttered with all those extra drill bits.
Oh, I'm fixing the problem of the lumber being too long, making sure it's all too short. Did that look like some kind of TikTok dance? That's what I was going with. That's what I was going.
Have you ever watched a TikTok before?
No. Our summer build series are some of my favorite projects on the channel. It's just like, there's something about being outside that just makes me happy. But it also means dealing with the heat and the sun, and we're always looking for ways to stay cool. Coolify is the inventor of the wearable air conditioner, and they're the sponsor of today's video. This isn't just a neck fan, it's a personal air conditioner that uses advanced technology to bring the ultimate personal cooling experience. The crazy thing about this is that it actually gets cold. Like, this is cold to the touch, as cold as a refrigerator, on my neck. Amazing. The patented airflow blows both up and down, and weighing in at just 395 grams, it weighs about the same as that can of cola that I mentioned. The upgraded battery means that I get up to 6 hours of cool time and up to 24 hours of fan time. And I can even use it while it's charging. Perfect for riding around in the MTVR. And this isn't just for summer, because I can also use it on heat mode during the winter to keep me warm. They also have the Coolify Cyber, which offers enhanced 360-degree dual turbo fans for even greater cooling capacity. The built-in smart display screen offers real-time info at a glance, and when it's time to recharge, you can go from 0 to 80 in just an hour. If you'd like to stay cool this summer while you're working on your favorite projects, head to the link in the description below. And thanks again to Coolify for keeping us comfortable. Yesterday was one of those days that was really productive until it wasn't. Like, Steven was busting out the subfloor, I got all the metal removed, and then it came time to start framing this wall, and I didn't have a plan. It just wasn't as simple as I'd made it out to be in my mind, and I was getting frustrated with myself for not knowing how to do it. But eventually we came up with a plan. We got half this wall framed. We have a layout already set up for where this door is gonna go, and I think by the end of the day, we're potentially even gonna have this entire wall sheathed and this boat closed back up again, which is pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to today, and I'm looking forward to seeing just how much we're able to get done on the front of this boat. All right, we got our top plate on, we got our bottom plate on, I got our 24 on center layout pulled from over there to over here, so it's time to put some studs in. 9.4 degrees. And then, if we did this right, I'm gonna screw it in, and then I'm gonna check it with the level and make sure that it is the same out of plumbness as the other ones. I was trying to figure out why all the screws kept being bent. It wasn't the screws that were bent. Next up is to frame the big garage door opening. Yeah, I'm gonna build this on the ground. I'm gonna measure it corner to corner. And then I'm gonna put a diagonal brace. I've never actually installed the garage door. Steven installed the garage door at the house we built last summer. But neither of us have ever installed the garage door in a barge. 144.5. Okay, that is now square. This morning's doing well. Like, the door frame's done, this wall's done, the door opening for the big roll-up door is done. Now it's time to tackle this window. This is where the big awning window is gonna open. The original plan was to use the long, skinny window for the awning, and I think we just switched and changed our mind, and we're gonna use the taller, more squatty. Apparently that one's under tension. Now I'm building a window box, and now I need to decide where we want the window, like left and right. It's very reminiscent to when we built our shop, and the only flat place we had then was the inside of the apartment upstairs. Remember we built our entire garage door upstairs? It's very close. Okay, here, I'll just fix it. Oh, there's nothing to lean on. There we go. It's like somewhere in between pole barn and stick frame. Stop. Sheathing time. Why don't you ever laugh at my jokes? You definitely didn't laugh at my joke. This is exciting. It's very exciting. Who's farting away over there so much?
I think people pressure wash their boat.
Ah. We have to make the level intentionally not level. Never thought I'd be sheathing a barge. All right, we want the waxy edge down.
Oh, you have 2 openings to cut out on this one.
Yeah, that's really good. That's perfect. It's exactly what I want. And then that bridges the frame of this opening into the frame of that one.
That is a cool window opening.
Say, Courtney, that in general, for not planning at all and just buying windows and seeing what happened, we've done pretty well with our layout. Like, I'm really happy with how all of this coming together, especially the front. How many times are we gonna do this before we buy the flush cut trim bit for the router?
Probably at least another time.
This was just 2 blocks off the barge deck, right?
Did you crop dust me?
3 inches, yeah.
Not cool, man.
Not cool. How come the good ideas always come at the very end of the project? I'm gonna put a bead of glue along this metal. 1, it's gonna attach the wood down here. 2, it's gonna keep the bugs out. Looks good to me. You push the top, actually it's good. Yeah, right there. Nice.
Well, that went incredibly fast.
Yeah. It's fun to do a project where everything can be broken into small pieces and we can like accomplish something. Now we keep sheathing, because we're not actually done. It feels like we're done, but we have to do up there now. It's cool that something that we learned last summer building the house is now translating over to this project, you know? Like we had never sheathed before, so we had no idea what we were doing. But now all of that learning curve, here we are. Working on the ground is not ideal, but working on the ground means that I can just work each sheet one at a time, and I'm not having to move them twice. Don't cut rake channel. Don't cut rake channel. It won't shoot the last ones. The good news is I bought way more of the material than we needed, so we can return some. That's good for the budget. Woohoo! Last sheet. It looks like a house, but it also looks like a shop. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the point, right? Like, we got way further today than I expected us to get. Putting house wrap up wasn't even on my radar, but it's time for house wrap so we can flash everything so we can start installing windows and doors. So we have the house wrap, but we don't have the stapler to put it up. So we're gonna try putting house wrap up and tack it up using the nail gun so we can keep making progress.
Isn't it just pushing all the way through?
Yeah, I can go really light with the pressure. It's just cutting it.
The update is that that was not going well, and it was never going to go well, so I ran to town and I got a bang stapler. Now we're ready to put house wrap up.
I'm putting some of these big panhead self-tappers on the OSB to attach the OSB to the roof purlin, because now our OSB is tied to our roof purlin, is tied to our wall. Which, by the way, I don't think I ever said this, like, this wall is not structural at all. The main structure of this building is all in the steel beam structure. This is just a wall to basically hold windows and siding in place. Let me unroll it a little ways.
That didn't work. That also didn't work.
I think you're not hitting it hard enough.
There, I hit it harder.
There we go. Nice.
Think anyone's bang stapled their hand before?
Definitely. It's pretty funny, that whole piece, like most of that is getting cut out. Woof! I thought that was covered from my face. Well, now let's just take it, like...
Oh no!
What?
The scissors are inside the building.
Oh, I have a knife. That's pretty funny though.
First row is done. thought we were gonna make the writing upside down.
Oh, you want to put the writing upside down? Your end can kind of, there's plenty, so your end can overhang a little bit, and then we'll cut it. I'm out of staples. Ah! Oh no! Is the wind gonna take it?
I hope not. I don't know what to say.
What do you have to say?
It looks beautiful.
We've surpassed where I ever thought we were gonna get, so we're just gonna start flashing, and I guess we'll install the door. So, the idea here is that any water that comes down will end up back outside again. There's a super old RR Buildings video about doing this. It's probably not even how he does it anymore, but basically I learned how to do all this by watching YouTube.
Beautiful.
How do I hang a door when I can't check for plumb?
This is really heavy.
It's very heavy.
How did Steven move this by himself earlier?
Things are about to get messy. Oh, I didn't run out. But I'm out now. Think it's gonna fit?
I freaking hope so.
So the goal is to get the bottom in the right spot, which is the jamb flush to the outside of the building, and then rock it in.
Okay.
So keep
Keep
pushing
going.
your side in.
I'm going. Okay.
Do you want to push it up?
Yeah, I can push it up. Ready?
Yep. Nice. Well, the good news, Courtney, is that it fits, and there's no bad news. So, should I give you the old slam test?
Ooh. Riley, you crushed it today. You're like the
we
wall
crushed it, and
framing,
Steven.
Door, floors. We have doors, floors, and walls again.
Yeah. It feels good, the guys. This was a very fun and productive day. Like, this part of the project where there's so much progress in the day is so fun.
I cannot wait to show you guys the siding that we chose for this because it's something we've never worked with. And we haven't even opened it yet.
Haven't opened it. It's gonna transform the entire look of the front of this thing.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, we are headed to the scrapyard this morning with a trailer full of scrap. See how much money we can get by selling off the scrap from this project. Oh, he said he'll unload you with the machine. I didn't know he meant like the claw. Okay, I'm all done checking out. That was 2,540 pounds of scrap metal for a payout of $76. 60 bucks a ton right now. I mean, it was definitely worth the trip, but it takes a lot of metal to have any sort of considerable payout.
Did you admire the barge when we pulled up this morning?
Yes. It looks so different now. Like 2.5 weeks ago, it was covered in junk and there was that room on the front and it just looked super ugly. And now when you pull up, it's like, whoa, there's that cool floating house down there. I love that it still has that like floating shop vibe with this big roll-up door opening. Like, it's still going to look like a shop, but it's going to feel like a house. Basically my dream.
Does this mean we get to do an unveiling?
Yeah.
We've always played it super safe with our metal colors and just done brown or brown or brown. We decided like we really want to embrace the pirate ship theme on this thing. Like, it's this old rusty barge. So here we go. Okay, how does it look?
Dude, that looks just like an old weathered board. Looks really cool from here.
That looks so cool.
Yeah. Is it gonna fit? Is it gonna fit?
I hope you guys can see on camera how cool this looks because
Boom.
I
Courtney.
am so excited right now.
Have you ever seen the straight edges with magnets on them so they stick to the metal siding?
Oh, that's genius.
Isn't that a cool idea? It works really well because like I'm able to push it against the table and then this stays in the right spot so it stays exactly 4.5 inches away. I'm not trying to guide it. And what would have worked even better is if I just ordered it the right width, but I thought we were doing something different back then.
How many times has the plan changed?
Every day. Little flange. First I'm gonna cut this. Just a little slit right here to tell it where to bend. And then I put my speed square flat on the table like this.
Wow.
It's a pretty amazingly good bend, actually. Bam!
Babe.
I literally made it an inch short. Dang it! Repair take 2.
There we go.
That looks better.
Yeah.
Is your side in?
Yeah. My side looks great.
Really just need enough to hold it now. There you go.
Oh. Ooh, yeah.
That looks pretty cool, Courtney.
That looks so cool.
This is called board and batten siding. It's a type of metal siding with concealed fasteners. So basically, this board clicks over this little lip on the next panel. I spent a bunch of time figuring out where I want the battens, the raised part of these panels, to line up, because I don't want them to line up right on a window edge. And I checked because I kind of wanted a batten either on the center or intentionally not on the center. I didn't want it like kind of on the center. So the very first one needs to get ripped 7 inches there. So now we need to cut the rake angle. Use my speed square at a 2-in-1 pitch, or 2-in-12 I mean. Boom, right there. Using the Perkins Brothers magnet thingy. Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
To hold screws? Seriously? Did you really just do that?
Not on purpose. I can't see the bubble. Are we right on the right edge? Never seen a bubble move like that.
That's because the boat's moving.
I think that's good.
I have no idea how many screws. You're probably supposed to put all the screws in.
No way it needs all the screws. Then this entire row of screws we put in gets hidden by the batten on every sheet, and this clicks into the previous one. So it's securely held on, but there's no, it's all concealed fastened, there's nowhere to leak.
Okay, now it's time to make this.
124.5. Look.
Oh my gosh, it went through.
They went curly cued.
Riley, how does that happen?
How does that even happen? That means as we were going, it like whoop, and then just like kept. That looks pretty darn good, Courtney.
That looks great.
And it's straight.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we building a boat, a barge, or a barn?
Now we're building a log cabin.
I know that Riley's having fun on this project because he's lost all aspect of time. Like, I asked him if he wanted lunch and he's like, what?
So why are you eating lunch for breakfast?
It's 1:30. We're making good progress. We are officially halfway. What a beautiful day. This is what we're making. Not drawn to scale.
141.
and a half.
Okay, can you maybe hold that end?
Yeah.
It's quite floppy.
Yeah.
Should we stop and do this J-trim before it gets too buried? Because if we end up if I can't get the trim in and we have to take all the screws out, that's gonna suck.
Oh, am I hitting a screw? Oh.
There it goes. I think it's in the right spot, but it's stuck. First full sheet in a lot of sheets.
I think we only got to put like...
That is kind of the funny thing about a wall with a lot of windows. It's like, the siding actually takes longer even though there's less of it.
Yeah.
4.
Wow.
You'd have to go back how many videos? It's gonna be a long time. A winter of 20, 22. When we built our shop, like the first time around, we didn't put this piece on because we were trying to save money, and someone had told us that it was not important. Our shop is a pole barn, so it doesn't have continuous sheathing like this. It just has purlins that go across every 2 feet. All of a sudden, we had mice everywhere inside the building. So this piece of trim is very important. To mark our 2 and 12 roof pitch, we were using the speed square on each one, going to our 2, and then drawing our line across. And then we realized we can just take the off-cut piece from one of them and hold it up on our mark. And now it's perfect every time. The scrap became the tool.
What happened?
I pulled the power. Okay, so we've just been sort of running without checking or measuring, clicking these together. We realized what happens if we get to this side and they don't line up anymore. So we're about to find out. Oh no, it's good, Courtney.
No.
Are we good or are we lucky? Last sheet. High five. That looks awesome.
Should we show them or should we make them wait till the trim's done?
Maybe we should probably make them wait till the trim's done.
Yeah.
Which I can probably do tomorrow. So you guys have to wait till tomorrow night.